let's talk about mouses. I have two mouses lined up that both of them I really like, and I'm very torn between the two of them. I find it very difficult to pick one over the other, and for a few very different reasons. They look very different. The two mouses that we're looking at today, Windows ergonomic mouse, I think we're going to call it. I think that's the official name for it, and the MX Master. Let's start off with, I guess, the MX Master, because it's this thing right here. Didn't realize there's a few different variations of this. I looked on Amazon and there's a few different, there's a 1, a 2, and a 3, I believe. The one I believe I have is the number 2, just from the design. I looked at, there's a newer, a different design out there as well, but this is the one. And this thing looks like a little stealth fighter spaceship. There's a couple of things I really like about this. And one aspect of this is going to be hard to translate into video, but I'm going to try my very best. And it's the little mouse roller right here. So as you scroll, I'll try and get it on the mic, you can hear it click. And as you go really quick, you might be able to see it's still rotating. And then you hear it click. So let's try that a little bit better. Still going, still going, still going, still going. So if you give it a good scroll, the thing is just going to keep going and makes like a revving noise. So it's very simple, but it's very tactile and a very nice little cool feature. But also if you like to fidget, which is me, so I'm probably going to put this down. If you like to fidget, it is a dream mouse to have, because you can just sit there, be on a page and just give it a and have the wheel scroll, and you feel the motor going for a good 10-15 seconds. It's pretty satisfying. And the little mechanical click that you get, so nice. So simple, but that's one reason why I like this mouse. And even to the point where I'm like at work, have this mouse on my desk, I'm like, hey, work friend, come on over and try this mouse. I'm like, just roll it, just try it. It's something you have to feel, but when you do, it's like, okay, that's nice. That's a good tactile feeling. It's a good kinetic little thing. We also have a little scroll mouse on a little scroll wheel on the side where your thumb would sit, and that is for side scrolling. So I like to use this for editing for that reason and purpose, because that helps me go through my timeline nice and efficiently. You have two buttons here. Okay, you have two little buttons right here, one's for forward and one's for back. They're so very subtle, and one is, I think the top one's the back, the bottom one is go forward. So the one that you're more likely to use is the back one. Just great little placement, thumb up, boom, hit. And then one little sneaky feature is this is a button right here. And on Windows devices, it pulls up all of your windows and you can select which one you need. I think I got it to work on a Mac device as well. But that little button, I didn't know it was there until I almost threw out the paperwork for it, and then it had a little pointer to that part of the mouse. I'm like, why is it pointing there? It doesn't do anything. It's just, where you rest your thumb. But no, it is a button. It's cool. There's a little clicky bar. Charges by micro USB. I'd rather it be USB-C, but it's a micro USB. The other cool feature, just like the MX keys, has a little button on the bottom. Let's try and get this in focus. So it has that button at the bottom. You may have just saw it right there. It has that button right there with a 1, 2, and a 3. You can hit it and you can scroll through 3 different devices. That also is beautiful, because you can reprogram it to an Apple, you can pre-program it to Windows, and then another device, wherever it may be, and just hit 1, 2, or 3 and it connects. Simple. So you can very simply go from device to device just by hitting a few buttons on the bottom, and it's very easy to program. You literally just hold it down, it blinks, you connect to it on your computer. So sometimes I might log into a device, and this is not the mouse's fault, it's the software on the device, and it doesn't connect every single time. It's listed as MX Master, but it doesn't connect, so I've got to forget it and then reconnected it. But it's really easy and it's real quick. Secondary is it also comes with software. As soon as you plug in the micro USB into the computer that you're using, and I think this is Windows exclusive, but you put it in and it says, do you want to have this software on your computer? Yes, that means you can program certain things, including the button on the side as to what that button does, and you have somewhat of some bit of control over the settings of the mouse. There's a lot. That's a lot there for a peripheral, a mouse that you use. But again, if you're using something on a day-to-day basis, if it's comfortable, which this thing really is comfortable in the hand, and it does features that other things don't do, and it improves the quality of life to some degree, then why not get something along these lines that does do a lot as opposed to just a simple type mouse. And I have many mouses out there. For the longest time, this Logitech mouse was my go-to. Like simple, it's got a scroll wheel and 2 clicking buttons for the normal 2. That's it. And actually, it was really comfortable. I had that for years. Like, I couldn't tell you how many years. And I would take it everywhere. Every office I was in, I would always have this one with me. Great. Look at this Logitech mouse. Same company, simple, very high-end tech. I've had a lot of people ask me about this, like, what the heck is that on your desk? And I'm like, looks like a stealth fighter, but it's actually a mouse. And I also picked up this one as well, which is just super simple. This was supposed to be just like a little portable mouse for my MacBook Pro. Didn't really end up using it, but it's a good little backup mouse in case. Essentially, if you're going to use something day to day, why not be something that's real nice? And if you rely on a decent mouse for editing, for normal work, clicking around, I mean, if you're surfing the internet, your trackpad on your laptop, or a default mouse from HP or Apple or whatever, it's going to work fine. Number 2, this is going to be a little bit different, but it is this Microsoft mouse. Look at it. It's just like a big ball almost, or a half ball with a little cutout for your thumb right there with the Windows logo right on top. Why do I bring this into the conversation? Really, it's just, this thing is so comfortable, just so ergonomic. And I think, let me have a look. This one is battery powered, by the way. And you do need, I believe you have to connect it by USB in the back of your device for this to work. It's one USB and it came paired with a keyboard, which I'll show you in a moment. I believe this one just called like the ergonomic mouse, something along them lines, and has a Windows button right there, 2 clickies, scroll with a little left and right deal, and a little subtle right underneath here, which is the back button. The reason I like this is just comfort. That's it. It doesn't do everything that the MX Master does. I'm very limited to what devices I can use this on, and I have to take out the USB stick if I want to put it in any other device, and it is USB, it's not USB-C. It's kind of bulky. But with that said, this mouse sits on my desk a little bit more for everyday work than the other one, for comfort reasons only. And again, I get a few looks like, that's an interesting mouse. I'm like, yep, it's for comfort. It's just literally for comfort. It just kind of hugs your hand. It's a little bit higher and taller than most mouses, but for that exact reason is why it's so comfy. So I'm not the sleekest of stealth fighters in the world. Kind of looks like a little spacecraft. Unbelievably comfy. It comes in a combo with this, which is an ergonomic keyboard. I just never liked the gap. It's a bit of a try it and see situation with this keyboard. I tried it and I just couldn't get over. I'm not the bestest of typers. I still do a little bit of plucking every now and then, or pecking, and I'm not a touch typer. I always have to be looking, and in my brain, I probably didn't give it long enough, and I wasn't invested enough because I was enjoying my MX Keys keyboard. So I wasn't really invested enough to really learn and get it around, but my brain just kept thinking, where's that key at? Is it on the left or on the right? So any time you're doing say a T, a G, whatever's in this area of the keyboard, and even the spacebar to some degree, my brain's thinking, where is it? Look down, find it, and hit it. And it just slowed down my workflow so much. I just really gave in after probably a couple of days. And I went back to the MX Master, which is my favorite, and I was going to go back to it anyway. But I just wanted to give this a good shot, and really it's all to do with my metacarpals. It's all to do with the metacarpals in my hand, because for what I do at the gym, I'll spend a lot of time on the hands with burpees and mountain climbers and all these different exercises that, yeah, my metacarpals do hurt at times. And if I don't have the right mouse, I really get some pinching there. And the mouses I've mentioned right here, for me personally, just didn't have anything close to causing any issues with the back of my hands. But this keyboard, my brain didn't like it all that much. That is my breakdown of these two mouses. Very different, but recommend them both. If you're considering them, you won't regret it. If it's comfort you're looking for, the Microsoft one is very nice, the Windows one. If you're looking for feature, again, a lot of the lists I looked at, a lot of people talking about what you can do with that mouse, they all highly regarded it as one of the best they've used and played around with. I've seen different lists like top 10 mouses of all time. I'm sure that's out there. I'm sure I've watched it, and it was top, if I remember correctly, or close to it. So I haven't came across any other mouse that's close or like it. I believe there's a few different generations out there on Amazon, so check them out. But that's my review of them. Hope it helped, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.